Right? So therefore, we see that Abraham, he goes up to a mountain and offers a sacrifice. He's not a priest. How can he do that? How would he know how to prepare it? Even Noah, let me retrace my steps. Even Noah, when he went into the ark, he got 7 of the clean animals and then 2 of the unclean. A pair of the unclean and 7 of the clean. How would he know which one was clean and unclean? It was not commandments. The Torah was given to Adam, but directly to him. And he passed it on. He lasted 930 years. Don't you think he can teach the Torah for a long time? To every firstborn generation? So what we get here is that now Noah gives it to Shem. Shem has an encounter with Abraham. Now, it's the order of Melchizedek. It's an order, okay, of a priesthood. It's not necessarily a person. According to the Jewish writings, Shem was a priest in the order of Melchizedek. Why? Because he traced you back all the way back to Adam. You see? So now, when he met with Abram, there was a transition of a priesthood. He gave him the Melchizedek priesthood, the order of Melchizedek. And he then took Isaac onto the altar as a priest. And then he passed it on to Isaac. And Isaac passed it on to Jacob, right? Okay. But the thing is that Jacob was not the firstborn. It was Esau. Esau was supposed to have the firstborn right and be the Melchizedek, be the order, be the priest, and bring forth sacrifice. But he despises his birthright. So Jacob, he got his birthright. Why? Because he wanted to honor Yahweh and do sacrifices unto him, and he wanted to honor his grandfather Abraham when he died. That's the whole episode. When he got the birthright from lentil soup, Abraham just died. And Esau didn't want to deal with it. He was running away from somebody. I'm not going to get into that. So Esau said, Jacob wanted to honor his grandfather because it was the duty of the firstborn to honor the grandfather and bring forth sacrifices. He didn't want to do it. So Jacob says, then give it to me so I could go honor my grandfather Abraham. Remember that Jacob learned in the tents, right? That's an idiom from Torah teaching, Torah study. It's like Joseph. Joseph stayed with Jacob in the tent. That's not like it being a baby or being a mama's boy. It means that he was learning Torah. Okay? So therefore, is this making sense? Interesting, right? I'm trying to go really slow so the people who are hearing me, and so they're accusing me that I throw a lot of information, that I talk too fast. So I'm going to really slow today. I love the Torah. Listen, my passion is the word of Yahweh, to put it in context, for me to understand so I can live it. It's not to be smarter than anybody else. All right. So now he passes it on to Jacob. Jacob, because Reuben defiled his father's bed, slept with a handmaiden, then he divided it up. The blessing to Joseph, and then the kingship to Judah. The Levites didn't really get the priesthood into Mount Sinai. Okay? But they stood up for righteousness. Remember, they defended Dinah and Shechem. See, that's a foreshadow of the bride, by the way. Because there were 7 kids. Leah's kid, there were 7 kids. From Leah. 6 kids and a daughter. She's the 7th. She's the type and shadow of the bride. And Shechem raped the bride. And who stood up for it? Simeon and Levi. Join and to hear. Upon here, they joined together and they redeem, and they defended the honor of the bride. That's the type and shadow of the congregation. So in the last days, you should be able to see Levi standing up, defending the bride, the assembly, and the church, bringing them back from being raped back to the Torah, correct? That's another hint. I'm getting away off the subject. Let me keep going. So now, in Psalms 110:4 says, Yahweh has sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. That is the oath that in Hebrews chapter 7 and 8 talks about. That this one, that Yeshua, came with an oath. Because Yahweh himself says, you are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. Okay? So, Zechariah, it talks about the branch as the priest, and branch is a typology of Messiah. Zechariah chapter 6 verse 12 says, and speak unto him, saying, thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, saying, behold the man whose name is the branch. That's an idiom about the Messiah. And he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of Yahweh. even he shall build the temple of Yahweh, and he shall bear the glory, and shall sit and rule upon his throne. See, if you're king, you're ruler. And then says, and he shall be a priest upon his throne, and the council of peace shall be between them both. So you see, here's a prophecy about the Messiah, the branch, who will be king priest. But is it going to be of the Aaronic priesthood or the order of Melchizedek? The Levitical priesthood was not the original plan of Yahweh. It was a substitute order due to the worship of the golden calf by the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. Okay, into the time in which all things will be restored. Yeshua came then as the son of Yahweh, the firstborn of all creation, and he was bestowed upon Yeshua the duties on the order of Melchizedek. Not an earthly priesthood, but a heavenly priesthood. How do we know that? Because if we go through the book of Malachi, 1 Samuel, the sons of Eli, we go back to Aaron. Aaron was the one who built the golden calf. Started with, with the sons of Aaron. Abihu and the other one. That they brought strange fire into the temple. So we see that the priests, holiness and profane, they need to watch out that we don't profane what is holy. And it starts with the hierarchy, the highest, the requirement of holiness, the priest. They're the ones who have to establish the whole setting of the table for everybody else. If they profane the things of Yahweh, then the people will follow. Okay? You follow so far. I hope you guys listening, you follow with me. So now, Hebrews speaks of this change. Hebrews speaks of the change of the priesthood. But the church has understood this to be the law, and not the laws according to the high priest, the Kohen HaGadol, in the order of Aaron. So the church has done a good job utilizing the book of Hebrews to say, oh, that has to do with the law. When in reality, the book of Hebrews is the book that is presenting Yeshua as a high priest of a better priesthood, not of this world, but of a heavenly origin. But they're using that out of context, and you're going to be amazed at some of the stuff we're going to look into here in the Greek text, how in the English Bible, they have words added in, okay, that are not supposed to be there, that changes the whole context of the verse, of the chapter. So we're going to go verse by verse. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1 says, for this Melchizedek, king of Salem. But before I go there, I want to go read in Hebrews chapter 6, the last few verses. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 19 and 20. Actually, no. I'm going to talk about Hebrews chapter 6, verses 8 all the way on through. Verses 9, I'm sorry. Hebrews chapter 6, verses 9, all the way through verse 20, and then go into chapter 7. But beloved, we are confident of better things concerning you. Yes, things that accompany salvation, though we speak in this manner. For Elohim is not unjust to forget your work and labor of love which you have shown towards his name, in that you have ministered to the saints, and do minister. And we desire that each one of you show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope into the end. And you do not become sluggish, but imitate those who through faith and patience inherit the promises. But when God made a promise to Abraham, because he could swear by no one greater, he swore by himself. Okay? He says, surely blessing I will bless you, and multiplying I will multiply you. And so after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. For men indeed swear by the greater, and an oath for confirmation is for them an end of all dispute. See, an oath of confirmation. That's the premise of these verses. For Yeshua to become the high priest, he needed to have an oath, not from a man, but from Yahweh as a confirmation that he is the high priest.